Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. Vybz Kartel is released from behind bars after spending 13 years in jail. What up? It's your boy Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday morning, my second favorite day of the week, because tomorrow is Friday, and y'all know how much I love my Fridays. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got 4 lead stories. The first story is Vybz Kartel is a free man. Anybody out there know any Jamaicans or West Indians? Trust me, we are rejoicing this weekend. Vybz Kartel is free, so I will give you the lowdown on that. Then in our second lead story, we're going to recap Donald Trump's interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. I'm sure most of you have heard a lot about it, but I will recap and let you know everything that you may have missed. The third lead story is Kamala Harris's response to Donald Trump's attacks during the National Association of Black Journalists. And then in our fourth lead story, you guessed it, the White House's response to Donald Trump's interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. Yes, the interview was that big and it caused that much of a firestorm that it's literally taking up 3 of our lead stories. All right, after lead stories, we're going to jump into quick news. We're going to talk about Lil Yachty, talking about Drake, Johnathan Majors commenting on Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. Our third quick story, Fox News reporter making shocking claims about men voting for women. And then our fourth quick story, we're going to talk about Elon Musk again being accused for election tampering. Then we're going to close out with question of the day because we do not have any sports news. All right. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, let me start this story off with a Vybz Kartel is released from behind bars after spending 13 years in jail. Jamaica Court of Appeal says no retrial and orders Vybz Kartel and a co-defendant to be freed, according to Fox News. All right, let me read you the article. It looks like dancehall artist Vybz Kartel will be released from prison after serving many years, 13 years to be exact. According to Fox 5 NY, the news about the upcoming release, well, this is an article from yesterday, so not upcoming release. Just to be clear, he has been released, okay? So the news of the release comes from a unanimous decision in a Jamaican Courts of Appeal where Vybz and his co-defendant were ordered to be released. The court decided against a retrial in the murder of Lizard Williams, whose body was reportedly never found. The court read, "We conclude that the interest of justice does not require a new trial to be ordered." The court also referred to Vybz Kartel's health and cites psychological and financial effects that it would have on the appellant. The courts also mentioned that there was sufficient evidence that suggested that Kartel would not be able to complete a potentially longer sentence if there were to be a retrial. His defense talked about how his condition has changed over the years during the severe lockdown he has been under. His defense spoke to Fox 5 and said his neck was swollen. If you think of his shirt that was about 18.5 inches in the neck area, you couldn't close the collar on his neck. And that's how bad it is at this moment. His face is always swollen. And one other thing, he always has to wear glasses. He has a condition where his eyes are always protruding. So if you guys have seen this on my Instagram or anybody else's Instagram, you hear a lot of people in the comments, yes, rejoicing, happy, whatever, putting the Jamaican flag and all of that stuff. But I would say 50 to 60% of the comments are get well, get yourself help. You know what I mean? Like concentrate on your health. Don't go back to making music or don't do any interviews. Just take care of yourself. So a lot of people are very concerned about Vybz Kartel's health. I'm sure that, well, you heard just there in the article that did play a part on not only his release, but also played a part on him not having to go for another retrial. The fact that, you know, psychologically, financially, and just on the health, his health not being well. So that all played a part. He's freed. you know, a lot of people look at it like even if he did do the crime, he did serve the time. He was in there for 13 years. But this has been ongoing since it first happened. He's always maintained his innocence. Of course, there's always two sides to a story, but I think at the end of the day, all of Jamaica is very happy that Vybz Kartel, well, I shouldn't say all, because there's some people that do think that he deserved to be in jail. But for the most part, I would say all of his fans, let's put it that way, a lot of his fans are very happy for Vybz Kartel to be out. I hope that we do get an interview soon, but I do agree that he definitely needs time to just lay low, get healthy, get all his stuff in order, whatever, blah, blah, and then have him come back out and get back out to doing his shows and all of that stuff. You know, when Buju was in jail, I was actually at Buju's Long Walk. What was his name of this concert? Anyways, his first concert after he came out of jail. But I think because Buju was in jail in the U.S., that his conditions were a lot better. He came out of jail and he looked fine. I mean, his stage presence wasn't amazing. He was, very out of breath or whatever, etc. But I mean, he hadn't performed in 9 years. But Vybz' health is, to me, the most talked about thing right now. So we'll see. We'll see when he comes out. But shout out to Vybz Kartel and all of his fans worldwide. Vybz Kartel is out. And in honor of Vybz Kartel being out, we're going to play a Vybz Kartel song right after this story on CFQR600.com. So check it out. All right, let's get to Donald Trump. In our second lead story, Donald Trump is interviewed at the NABJ convention, National Association of Black Journalists, and talks about why Black Americans should vote for him. He also talked about Kamala Harris, pardoning Capitol rioters, and immunity for police, and more. All right, so I have a bunch of videos. Let me read you the article, and then we'll go clip by clip, and I will try to just recap all the crazy things that Donald Trump has said. Yesterday, was an interesting day at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention as former President Donald Trump was interviewed. During an intense sit-down with journalists, Trump talked about why Black Americans should vote for him. He also discussed his opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris, and shared that he didn't know that she was identifying as a Black woman. He touched on health, officer immunity, January 6th, and much more. Prior to the interview, Karen Atta stepped down as co-chair of this year's NABJ convention. She stated, "To all journalists interviewing Donald Trump, I wish them the best of luck." April Ryan also spoke out against Trump being interviewed at the convention. So if you guys remember yesterday's show, I let you know that there was a lot of backlash from a lot of people, especially Black journalists, that said, why are you having Donald Trump at this year's convention? We don't think he should be allowed in. And from the looks of what happened, we could see why they were very opposed to that.
A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe Black district attorneys. You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. Are you with ABC?
So let's jump into some clips and let's recap. Okay, so the first thing we'll tell you, recap, is Donald Trump talks about granting police immunity while being asked about the murder of Sonia Massey. Take a listen.
Sonia Massey was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. You've said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity?
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right? They're going to be charging the officer. I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that.
Who would make those those
Well, right now,
distinctions?
for the most part, people are protected by their unions, by their police unions, or by their police departments. There's a big difference between being a bad person and making an innocent mistake. But if somebody made an innocent mistake, I would want to help that person.
This really pissed me off because I really wanted to hear his answer to this question. And the fact that he was like, oh, what case are you talking about? The case with the water? Well, I don't really know about that case. It's national news. Joe Biden addressed it. Kamala Harris addressed it. They both called the family of Sonia Massey. And he's actually going to sit there on stage and have the nerve to say, well, really? I don't know about this case. I think I heard something about it. I heard some things that I really didn't like. The nerve of him. Either way he goes, he's wrong. If he doesn't know about it and you're running for president of the United States, it's horrible that you don't know about it. And if you're pretending like you don't know about it, that's just as bad. Now, after dodging and dodging and dodging, he finally at the end came out and said, well, it's not for bad police officers. It's for police officers that make mistakes. And that's who I want to give immunity to, which is another stupid comment because like he said, the police are protected by their unions. And if you do make an innocent mistake, of course you won't go to jail. If you make a blatant error, like shooting somebody in the face because they're holding a pot of boiling hot water, you should go to jail if you're a police officer. So him saying, hey, I want to enact immunity for all our police officers, that's what they have now if they make a mistake. So you know what I mean? It's like, so if that's what they have now, why are you saying you want immunity for police officers, if not for the police officer like that shot Sonia Massey? So I just don't understand. Like, and that's what pisses me off because I still don't know what he means because he didn't give a direct answer to what he wants. And Donald Trump never talks policy. So I wanted to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. You guys know me. I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for or who you shouldn't vote for. I'm just as hard on Kamala as I am on Joe or as I am on Trump. I try to look at their policies and to see, you know, if I was American, if I would vote for them or not. And the fact that he didn't answer this question really upsets me. All right, let me go to the next thing. The next thing was Trump says that he would step down if his health declined. Take a listen.
Would you consider stepping down if you felt that your health was declining? Or would you?
Oh, absolutely. I want people to be sharp. I'll go a step further. I want anybody running for president to take an aptitude.
All right, I'll give him benefit of doubt. He says that if he was not as sharp as he was now, then he would step down. And he said anybody running for president should take a test. So I love that answer. Then he goes on to share what he would do on his first day if he won the election. Take a listen.
What do you do on day one if you win?
I close the border, that, and I drill, baby, drill. I bring interest rates down. I bring inflation way down so people can buy bacon again, so people can buy a ham sandwich again.
Okay, at least, I mean, I don't really believe that answer, but at least he went to policy, talking about the border, talking about helping the people. So that was a good answer. Then it all goes downhill. And by the way, we're not playing this in order. So just to preface that, I don't know the exact order. These are just highlights that we have. But this is the comment that went all over social media, all over the news, and really made Trump look really bad. And he said that he didn't know that Kamala Harris was actually black. He thought she was Indian because now she's only choosing to identify as black. Take a listen.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
That's just a ridiculous comment for Donald Trump to make. A lot of people are literally tearing him apart for that. I mean, Kamala Harris went to an HBCU, a historically black university. She has always come out and said that she is a black woman. She has identified also with her Indian side too. Her mother was Indian. Her father is Jamaican. By the way, another Jamaican again. But you know, it was just ridiculous for him to say that. But at the same time that I think it is ridiculous for him to say that, I also don't understand why people are so shocked and appalled by it. It's Donald Trump. Like, this is what he does. And the people on the left that get shocked and appalled, it actually just riles up his base. So I think he actually purposely does these things because his base and the right side loves when he does things like this. They like that he's just talking real and that he's just taking shots. So, I mean, like, I'm not offended because it's Donald Trump. Like, that's just what he does. Like, he's purposely trying to offend you. You know what I mean? So anyways, the last thing is he talked about giving immunity to the rioters on January 6th. Take a listen.
Were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
We couldn't play the whole thing, but they were, arguing back and forth. And then she had to say, Donald Trump, excuse me, Mr. Trump, can you answer? Will you pardon them? And then he said yes. Again, he said that a million times. And he's like, yeah, if they're innocent, which they're not innocent. Obviously, that's why they've gone to jail. They went through a court system and a jury found them guilty. So anyways, y'all let me know what you think of this. I have 2 more stories to go on, so I could go on about this topic for hours. So you guys let me know what you think of Donald Trump's interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. 2 things. Do you think that they should have interviewed him? And what do you think about the interview? Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, in our third lead story, Vice President Kamala Harris's team releases a response to Donald Trump's National Association of Black Journalists interview. Vice President Kamala Harris's team has responded after former President Donald Trump made several remarks about her during an interview with journalists at the National Association of Black Journalists convention in Chicago. During the interview, Trump accused Harris as posing as a black woman and said people should look into that as he believes that she was solely Indian heritage prior to this. Harris's team clapped back in their response saying, Donald Trump has already proven he cannot unite America, so he attempts to divide us. Today's tirade is simply a taste of the chaos and division that has been a hallmark of Donald Trump's MAGA rallies this entire campaign season. It's also exactly what the American people will see from across the debate stage as Vice President Harris offers a vision of opportunity and freedom for all Americans. All Donald Trump needs to do is stop playing games and actually show up to the debate on September the 10th. I just want to say something about this debate. Kamala Harris and her people, all the Democrats, they keep on really harping on this debate as if like, if Donald Trump shows up to this debate, it will be over. I think it could be a mistake. It could lead to a mistake on their part. If all they do is put so much weight on this debate, every single time Kamala Harris goes out, she said, Donald Trump, I want to debate you. I want to debate you. I want to debate you. He'll never debate me. And all the pundits and everyone's like, he will never debate her because she will wipe the floor with him. If you create such an incredibly high ceiling, all Donald Trump is going to have to do is just come in the debate and be average. And if he's average, it's going to look like he did so amazing because it's going to be like, she didn't wipe the floor with him. She didn't totally, take him apart. So I would like to just see them not focus so much on the debate. And again, just focus on policies and let Donald Trump be Donald Trump. You already have such great momentum going on right now to hinge everything on a debate. The fact that she will totally wipe the floor with him. And I get she's a prosecutor and I think she will beat him. But if you create such a high bar that all Donald Trump is going to have to do is mainly just be average and just quiet down a little bit of his rhetoric, like it will make it seem like, why did you hype this debate up? He was actually not that bad. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's just my opinion. I don't think Kamala Harris will hear this, but that was me. I would stop putting so much emphasis on the debate and just focus on the policies. All right, in our fourth and final lead story, Karine Jean-Pierre reacts to Donald Trump's comments about Kamala Harris's ethnicity, and she says it's insulting. Former President Donald Trump made some racially charged comments towards Kamala Harris, the presumptive Democratic nominee, during a convention and event in Chicago that took place yesterday. As we've been talking about, the National Association of Black Journalists. As we previously reported, Trump's falsely questioned Harris's racial background, suggesting that she only turned black at some point in the past couple of weeks. This incident occurred during a panel discussion at the National Association of Black Journalists conferences. While responding back to the news, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, labeled Trump's comments as insulting. She said, as a person of color, as a Black woman who is in this position that is standing before you at this podium, what you just read to me, what he just said is repulsive. It's insulting. No one has any right to tell someone who they are and how they identify. I have a little clip. Take a listen.
It is insulting. And we have to put, she is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. We have to put some respect on her name, period.
I like how she ended that. We got to put some respect on her name, period. Anyways, shout out to Karine Jean-Pierre. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Lil Yachty confirms that the viral snippet with Drake that Kai Cenat previewed will not be coming out. The sample within the song was not able to be cleared, according to Lil Yachty. All right, I played the song for you guys last week. I love this song. I'm so upset it's not coming out. Here is Yachty on a podcast. Take a listen.
I sent a song to Kai to leak. We couldn't get the sample cleared. So I just let Kai play it.
So that's not coming out?
No, but it's everywhere.
Anyways, the song is out anyways right now. You can't get it off of DSP, but you can find it on YouTube. You can find it a bunch of places. So anyways, Super Soak, Drake, Lil Yachty, it's not going to be coming out. And Yachty also, came out to admit that he was the one who leaked it. It wasn't Drake. It wasn't anybody on Drake's camp. He knew that the song was never going to be able to come out, so he just let Kai Cenat play it. So there you have it. All right, in our second quick story, Johnathan Majors says he's heartbroken about Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom replacing Kane in the next Avengers film. Johnathan Majors is sharing just how he feels about the new changes made to the upcoming Marvel project. As previously reported, Robert Downey Jr. stepped into the role of Dr. Doom. This shift comes after Major was dropped from the franchise following his conviction of 2 misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault in December. His character Kane the Conqueror was initially positioned to be the new Thanos, with plans of him playing a central role in the upcoming Avengers, the Kane Dynasty, which has now been scrapped in favor of Avengers Doomsday featuring Downey. In an interview with TMZ, Major revealed just how much the news has affected him, and he said, "Yeah, I'm heartbroken." Of course, he stated when asked about his feelings regarding the new direction that Marvel is taking. He said, "I love Kane. Dr. Doom is wicked, though." I have a little clip. Take a listen.
It was announced that Robert Downey Jr. was, being brought back from Marvel to play Dr. Doom. I mean, are you hurt with the new direction that, Marvel is, going?
Yeah, heartbroken.
He seems a little bit sarcastic, not really too sure. I mean, definitely he's pissed. I wonder how Marvel feels scrapping that project. And it ended up where Johnathan Majors just had little 2 misdemeanors. Give me a break. There's way worse things that could have happened in that situation. To scrap a whole movie and drop Johnathan Majors because he has a misdemeanor is just crazy to me. So I hope they feel stupid about it. All right, in our third quick story, okay, I'm warning right now, this one is super weird. Fox News' Jesse Waters says this: when a man votes for a woman, he actually transitions into a woman. I kid you not, this is a Fox News reporter, Jesse Waters. Take a listen. I'm not even reading the article. I just want you guys to hear the video in his own words. This is a Fox News reporter talking about men voting for a woman president. Take a listen.
Now, I don't see why any man would vote Democrat. It's not the party of strength. It's definitely not the party of family. And to be a man and then vote for a woman just because she's a woman is either childish, that person has mommy issues, or they're just trying to be accepted by other women. And I heard the scientists say the other day that when a man votes for a woman, he actually transitions into a woman.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's what the science says.
Science says that.
What is he talking about? This is a commentator on Fox News. It just makes no sense. But there's no other story to this. That's just it. This commentator, this video has just gone viral, and yeah, I don't know what to say. God bless you, whoever watches Fox News. All right, in our fourth and final quick story, man who posted a picture of Donald Trump's healed ear, and they put in quotations, healed ear, has his account on Twitter suspended. Peter Sosa's account has apparently been suspended by the person who vowed he was a free speech absolutist and promised that he would not manipulate this platform to tamper with the election, despite the fact that he is a rabid supporter of Donald Trump. So again, we talked about this on yesterday's show that Elon Musk was being accused of taking down a Twitter account, White Dudes for Harris, after they raised, I think, $3 or $4 million. The account was suspended. And now you have this other guy's account, Peter Souza, and he posted Donald Trump's ear, which looks miraculously amazing, I must say. The fact that it was just got shot from a bullet from an AK-47. Apparently this picture was taken down. He wrote in the caption, he said, AP photo this morning, look closely at the ear that was hit by a bullet for an AK-47. It looks fine. And boom, the account was taken down. So like I said yesterday, it doesn't matter what Elon Musk said in the past. Oh, I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to do anything. He owns Twitter. He owns X, whatever you want to call it. It's his. It's not a public domain anymore. He could do whatever he wants. So, of course, if his man is Donald Trump, he is going to do everything he can on his own platform that he owns, that he doesn't have to answer anybody to, and he's going to do what he wants with it. So y'all got to stop being shocked about what these people are doing. Stop being shocked about things that Donald Trump say. Stop being shocked about something that Elon Musk does. They are out to win an election. This is what they are trying to do, and they're unapologetically going about it how they always been. So I don't know why we're still shocked about it. All right, this brings us to question of the day. All right, just remember this will be our final segment because we don't have any sports news today. So our question of the day today is, would you date you? All right, so I am Rosemary said, most definitely. Tia Apart said, absolutely. Cheka Sweet said, somebody said, I don't date broke people. Somebody said, I'm currently dating myself right now. The Lord King said, I would cry myself to sleep every night if I fumbled me. Krista King said, I'm not into women. All right, funny. The Real Cream YYB said, I'd wife me up right away. Tikor Meaner said, yes, and I would handle me with care. Steve Kells said, I would block me. At least somebody's being honest here. Carrie Taylor 216 said, if you honestly can't look in the mirror and say, I would date me, you shouldn't be dating anyone until you work on yourself to the point where you would honestly want to be with yourself. I am Mansa said, I would break up with myself too many times. At least these people are being honest, man. Somebody else said, again, if you wouldn't date yourself, you shouldn't be dating anybody else. Somebody said, I wouldn't right now. I'm not healed. All right. That's a girl who said that. Her name is Sylvia 8285 Pretty. She said she's healing right now. Rose Vibe 14 said, I'm married. That's funny. Another person said, I would marry myself. Somebody said, I'd be outside my house with a boombox. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I get the joke. I'd be on myself with a boombox. Get it? Somebody said, I would put me in a log cabin somewhere in Aspen. All right, at least you'd be taking care of yourself. And somebody said, hell no, I'm moody as hell. See, I like that answer. All right, let me give you guys my answer. Hold on. Somebody said, I would marry me without a prenup. It's funny. Nashi said, she said, no, I'm too crazy. I'll be stressing myself out. I love that answer. And somebody said, no, I got ish to work on. So my answer is a little bit different. So I wouldn't date me, but not because I like some people said they need to heal, they need to work on themselves and they'll stress themselves out or whatever. But I wouldn't date me because the things that I am looking for are not the things that I can give. Like, I know what I'm good at. So I wouldn't want somebody to replicate already the things that I'm good at. That's how it would be me dating me, right? So where I am like a type A personality, where I'm a leader. I've talked about this before on my podcast, where I wouldn't necessarily want to be with somebody who's a type A leader. I'd want to be somebody, like I'm a CEO, right? Like I've owned my own company, where there's a lot of people who are like, I don't want to own my own company, but I want to work right beside the person who's running the company, right? So you don't want two leaders necessarily being with each other. So I just feel like the things that I would be able to provide the relationship, shouldn't it be the exact same things that you look back from in the relationship, if that makes sense? You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I wouldn't date me. But other than that, I think I'm a good catch. So yes, I would date me, other than the fact that, we'd both be complimenting each other. Anyways, that is the show. Thanks a lot for kicking with me. Please tune in for tomorrow's show. Before we leave, it's just some reminders of how to stay up to date with the show. For those of you who watch the Trent Out Loud podcast on YouTube or listen to it on podcast platforms, please try to check me out weekdays, Monday to Friday from 11 to 12 on CFQR600.com. You could log in from any device anywhere in the world. Just go to the website and click listen live from 11 to 12, and you will hear the Trent Out Loud podcast, or AM 600 if you're in the Montreal area on the radio stations. You should please tune in from 11 to 12. We play music, hip hop, and R&B during the hour. It's a great way to listen to the show. And vice versa, if you're used to listening to this on CFQR 600 and you can't always catch the show from 11 to 12, don't worry. You never have to miss an episode, because you could catch it on YouTube or on podcast platforms at any time on demand. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And yes, we upload daily. Lastly, if you're like me and you like to watch your podcast, you don't only have to watch on YouTube now, you can also watch on Spotify. And if you ask me, it's a better way to watch your video podcast, because if you close the app and if you do something else, it still stays in playing, where YouTube, it closes it and you got to restart it over. So if you like watching your YouTube, if you like watching your videos, your podcast videos, please try to check me out on Spotify. Lastly, you can stay up to date on all of my social handles. Just follow me at Trent Out Loud, or the production company Exclusivity Media. All right, that's it. Y'all stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.